once again, the only two people with a GameCube cozy, Adam Zessler and Morgan Webb.
GameCube cozy?
Oh, you know, it's like a beer cozy or a tea cozy, but, you know, for the GameCube. Cute.
Welcome back to X-Play.
Yes. Now, do you remember the early 90s? You know, Nirvana, My So-Called Life, and Flannel?
Snozages.
That was the 80s.
What Morgan's point is that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were big in the 90s, too.
Now, they had an arcade game that was sort of like The Simpsons and X-Men 4-player arcade games.
And it was pretty fun then, and then they made it for all the consoles, except now you can only play it as 2 players at once.
Aww.
Yeah, I know. And I would like to point out that on both the Xbox and the GameCube, there are 4 controller ports. We are not amused. Here's a review of TMNT.
Snozages.
Yes, memory lane. You all remember the Turtles, don't you? So happy together. No, not the 60s band, the mutated teenage ones from the 80s.
Don't worry, April. We got you covered.
Yes. It seems like America ran out of original ideas years ago. So it's no surprise that these little rascals have popped up once again, this time on your PS2.
Shell Shocker! Shell Shock!
Unfortunately, this reincarnation is about as inspiring as an old episode of Blossom. Now, how come no one has come up with that game idea?
Whoa!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the perfect example of a licensed game that focuses too much on visuals and marketing power and not enough on actual gameplay. Even by side-scrolling basher standards, the gameplay here is weak and uninspired. The lack of complexity in the fighting system, combined with the lack of variation in the action itself, leads to a game that, despite being gorgeous, is still a total snooze.
What?
Shh. This game takes the new cartoon series and uses it as a jumping point to string together its series of thug-filled levels. Now, despite all the bad things that we have said thus far, the graphics are, without a doubt, stunning. The cartoony images are bold, bright, and colorful, and Turtles is definitely one of the best uses of this recently overused graphic technique we've seen. The voice acting and sound effects ain't bad either.
Help me, please!
Overall, the presentation is the greatest part of the game. It's a shame that the rest of the design can't follow suit. The levels move through various parts of the city, and while they look terrific, these stomping grounds suffer from an incredible lack of things to interact with.
Hey, dude, you're making me look bad.
Keeping in line with the lack of interaction in the levels is the lack of interaction in the Turtles.
Are those guys ninjas?
The gameplay is comprised entirely of repetitive bashing, with virtually no strategy, no depth, and no technique at all. Worse, however, it's just really boring. To add to the shell-shock grievances, the game only supports 2 players. Considering the arcade game from 1989 supports 4 players, this is inexcusable.
Sorry!
X-Play gives Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a 2 out of 5.
Too clumsy, Michelangelo.
This game is so repetitive, it's painful. It's painful. It's painful.
And I think only the beautiful cell shading and the nostalgia factor is the only thing that saves it from the dreaded 1 out of 5.